everyone, and welcome back to the Murphy Code. In the last session, everyone faced some orcs. A little kid cried, and it turns out that Interrogator Fox apparently has some morals and is willing to put the kid into a less dangerous position. And they informed Kane and was it Owen?
Kane, Brad, and Owen.
Right, he informed all of them, and yeah. So you guys did spend time, and the ship came and picked you up, and you were brought back to your dorms, and as you guys are settling back into your dorms, getting to eat some decent food, Fox turns to everyone and says, "All right, so I'm gonna repeat it now that everyone's here. So I've got some good news for everyone." And he looks to Lily. "We're going to be reassigning Lily to the medical officers on the ship. She'll no longer have to go out on field missions."
What?
I've heard your.
Lisa also looks a bit surprised and then frowns deeply.
I've heard some complaints that we shouldn't be having children out on dangerous missions crossing war zones, and I've looked into things, and it turns out that Lily is actually 1 year too young for those sorts of operations. So we're instead going to transfer her to the medical officer wing, where she will work under two medical officers, and they will both train her, allow her to work, and take care of her.
No. You guys said that I was old enough for this.
Yeah, Louisa kind of steps in front of Lily, almost a little bit protectively with an arm out, as she says, "Lily's been doing missions with us for some time and has been out in the field before. Why is this now a problem now?"
Folks just tilts their head and goes, "I thought she'd be happy. You've always complained about Lily having to do these missions, and Lily broke down and cried and said that they want to go home, right?"
And I did, but I don't want to go there.
"Why not?"
I don't know anyone there.
"That's why I'm telling you this in advance, so we can go and meet with the medical officers and you can get to know them. I think you'll love them. They're delightful people."
Lily just looks increasingly uncomfortable.
Louisa just looks suspiciously, still keeping Lily next to her, and she goes, "This seems awfully convenient. You've never once listened to any of our requests before."
Aside from requests from supplies, requests for food, requests for armaments and weaponry.
"Not without a fight. This seems too easy for them."
"What do you mean fights? I got you a vehicle without a fight. I got you food without a fight. I haven't been fighting you on any step. You wanted to fight the orcs, I allowed you to fight the orcs. I wanted to exterminate them, but I let you try against the orcs. And you won. You proved me wrong."
Louisa kind of bites her lip, like she wants to ask about the entity before and what Lily said, but she also knows not to probably say anything yet. She just reluctantly keeps her lips tight.
"I just don't understand why you're so resistant now. This is what you asked for. I found a lovely couple who are willing to care for and adopt Lily."
Neko, you said you wanted to roll insight.
Am I allowed to roll insight?
You may.
I want to see like mainly the tension of the conversation and see what's going on. You know?
Sure, you can try to discern his actions.
All right.
Also, while you quickly roll that, Kira,
Yes.
this is just an aside, but I haven't drawn art for them for this couple, and you don't have to do anything, but depending on how things go, I want you to know you have the option to draw them if you wish.
Okay.
I'm just laying it on the table as that's an option as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sure, you can add your superiority die. Alright. So what you're able to discern about folks is they seem mostly confused. From their perspective, they're giving you what you asked for and you're all suddenly resistant to it.
Okay.
That Brad
Right.
isn't saying anything.
I'm also glancing over to like Madame Elysia. Do I see it? Like, I guess it's up to the player, but do I discern anything from her action? She was also part of this conversation.
Well, that's up to Ninja. Again, I don't control players, so Ninja,
Yeah.
do you allow them to roll insight or do you just explain what Louisia is feeling?
I mean, since you already rolled insight, I'll just go ahead and say you can definitely see that she seems very more protective of Lily than what she was showing in the past, and is you can't quite see it in her veil, but you can see that she seems to have some suspicious feeling or a suspicious like aura around her aimed at Fox.
Louisa. I was the one who complained.
What?
Cool. She glances over to you, silently, seeming to be silently asking for an explanation.
Lily. Someone like you shouldn't have to experience the horrors of war. Not at your age.
No. I don't like that answer.
Look,
I finally got people I trust, and you're just gonna take me away from again?
I'm not taking you away. Look, they can come with you. Would you at least meet them?
Lily seems very hesitant and somewhat afraid just of the fact that this is coming out of Fox's mouth.
Look, if you still don't,
Oh,
sorry.
you're good. Go on.
Fox continues speaking and says, "Look, if you still don't like them after meeting them, you can stay with your friends, but you won't go out on combat missions. We'll let you stay on the ship and you can always see them when they're off. But as mentioned, I looked into it, and you're actually, by the Order's jurors, you're not allowed on combat missions for at least another year."
That's not what you guys told me when you put me out here.
Yes, well, we got your age wrong. How old are you again?
Right now? I'm 13.
Yeah, the age is actually 14.
You guys said teen. I am a teen.
DM, can Owen roll insight as well to see if this is accurate, like from his recollection, is this correct?
Sure, you may. I'll give you advantage because of your background.
Alrighty, insight.
Would this not be history?
Oh, yeah, sorry, it'd be history, not insight.
All right,
What's your modifier for history?
-1.
Oh.
Okay, so you have advantage, so 17, 16, 15, so it's a 14. Okay, so you're not 100% sure, but you do know it says that it does say in the laws that it's teen. However, there's also like many articles, like basically bickering about what constitutes a teen. Some say 13, some say 14, some say 15. And there's even one that says 10-year-olds are allowed to go out and fight Pokemon battles.
Nice.
Wait. I just realized something. Would
Most-
Lily herself know this?
Probably. You know what? I'll let you roll history with advantage as well.
Oh boy.
Okay.
19.
So you know that indeed, while Fawkes is quoting one of the rules, there's actually one rule that says you're allowed because you're 13, and then there's one rule that says again you're allowed because you're 10. So while Fawkes is quoting one version, you do know that there is room for like you to push on this, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
But Fawkes isn't lying, is what I'm getting at.
They're using the law to serve it.
You're not even using the right one.
Fawkes just sighs.
No, I think Fox is right in this regard. I think we should at least hear him out on this. Meet the people that would want to take care of Lily. Lily,
Kind of shrinks a bit at
Lily.
hearing Kane say that.
didn't you mention something about your family? Do you have any?
I had family, and I kind of hoped that I would still have them or see them again at some point, yeah. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
Brad just
Louise-
kind of looks away sorrowfully.
Louisa looks a little conflicted, a bit, kind of seeing both sides and both sides' point. But she does look a little bit confused as she glances at Liz. She goes, Lily, was there something you said about your parents?
What do you mean about my parents?
I recall you yelling out something while you were crying.
That I wanted to go home. What are you guys getting on about?
Louisa kind of frowns a bit, looking thoughtful. And then she glances to Fox and says, Lily may be young, but she's also a young psyker. She needs somebody to train her.
Well, it's not like you're going to not see her again. You're welcome to come and train her, or we can get her to hire an official trainer.
Louisa kind of like stomps her foot down the bed as she goes, You have one right here before you.
I did, as I said, you can train her yourself, or we can get another trainer. I'm fine either way.
And that means that I will remain by Lily's side for as long as possible.
The only issue with that is you still have to go out on missions.
So then you'd rather have an untrained young psyker remain behind. I can help keep her powers in control.
It takes 2 years to become a trained psyker. At least.
Then that means I need to stay with her as long as possible then. Unless you wish to have some issues on the ship.
You see, you don't really have a bargaining chip right now.
I don't care. Whatever I can do to help make Lily's situation a little bit more easier. And then she glances to Lily and she goes, Let's just see about these two medics, Lily. I will be there with you to meet them. You will not be by yourself. And then we'll let you decide what you want to do.
I say no, will he let me not go?
As I said, if you don't like them and don't want to go with them, you can always stay in the quarters here and hang out with the group when they're not on missions. You know, the rest of your people from Dirt are still around on the ship. They're doing their own missions. You're not the only people from Dirt.
At that, Lily's eyes kind of widen a bit. Like, wait, you mean we're not the only ones?
No, there was about 20 or 30 of you that survived.
There are
Sorry.
only 2 specific ones of those 20 or 30 that Lily is actually interested in right now. And she has unfortunately not seen their faces yet. But she does look a little bit more hopeful at that. Something clicks between what Kane was saying and what Louisa was saying. She might not have, like, connected the dots quite well, but she's connected a very dangerous set of dots, and suddenly she seems a lot more open to the idea of meeting these 2.
Uh-oh.
You know what? Okay, I'll meet them, but if I don't like them, I'm not going.
Louisa just turns and looks to Fox with a silent, well, there you go. And just gives a small shrug.
Well, alright. Do you want their names?
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, and he pauses briefly and then says, by the way, Owen,
Yes.
I wanted to let you know that you've been requested to head to the shrines on the ship and just help refill some of the prayer incense things.
Running. Stocks are running a little low, are we?
Yeah, they want you to bless them or something. I didn't really know. I'm atheist, so.
Fucking Owen just glares daggers at Fox.
Don't worry. All hail the emperor. I get it. I'm all fine for the emperor. I just don't believe in machine spirits and that gobbledygook.
Well, then you better not say that in front. Sorry, I have to reorganize my thoughts. You best not say that in front of the Mechanicus, then.
Oh, I'll say it in front of them. I like watching them fume.
All right, so incense needs to be refilled in all the shrines across the ship. Anything else aside from the blessings?
I think that's it. You're fine to come back once you finish that. It's just apparently they want you to do it because you're apparently like they tilt their head a bit and go, they called you a fanatic? And they said that makes you qualified for it.
Well, good to know that I am qualified for it. It's always a good. Well, it's always a good feeling to help out the worship of the Emperor.
Oh, there you go. Alright. So while you take care of that, we're going to. Oh, right. Sorry, the names. I completely forgot. But yes, run along now.
All right. Well, it'll probably take maybe the entire day, maybe most of the day if I try to rush it. Though you can't exactly rush blessings, so I'll probably see you all by nighttime.
Alright.
But yeah, you'll find to stay in the chat, Alex. But when you gotta go, you can just dip out.
Alrighty, tidy. So I'll just
Okay.
mute myself for the moment.
Yeah.
Alrighty, see ya.
Alright. So, the names are Mr. Stein and Mrs. Lulu. They're actually a couple.
Lily is not pleased with those names. She's back to being a little sulky and sad. Oh.
So, shall we
They
make.
have different last names.
Oh, well, they're from very different families, and neither of them wanted to take the other's last name, so they kept their own.
You do that?
Yeah.
You can do that.
Well, come along then. You will follow?
Well, Brad will also follow.
Yeah, Louisa too.
Okay. So you head to the infirmary, and there's, quite a few people, quite a few patients. There's one guy that appears to have an arm that's turned into a tentacle and is screaming at a group to cut it off before the curtains are drawn and, he's separated from you guys being able to see him. And, there's the nightmarish horrors. There's, smaller injuries. Like there's one guy who's got, a small scrape on his knee that looks to be like where they've pulled a bullet out and are slowly wrapping it up. And, there's a good balance of both serious and non-serious injuries. Bulk speaks up. So this is where you'd be working if you did accept the offer. You'd have plenty of patience and plenty of work to do, and your bright and bubbly face would actually make a lot of them happy, I can see you being able to do a lot of good here.
Maybe.
Alright, Folks calls out, Stein, Lulu! And two doctors look up from a patient that they're currently sewing a leg onto, and they share a glance, and then they look to the patient who's, currently, like, unconscious, and they go, we'll be right back. Can you? And they motion to another doctor and say, can you just make sure he stays under? Just give him another, like, 5 cc's of the stuff. And then they, wash their hands off, make sure their clothes are, settled, and then they come over. Now, Stein is a very tall figure, and he looks to have a bushy mess of grayish white hair and, beady rimmed glasses. And he's got one of those smiles that is slightly unhinged, but also not that unhinged. It's the sort of like, you get the impression he's got a bit of a crazy side to him, but he's good natured. Lulu, on the other hand, is very thin, and she's not tall so much as she's lanky, like she doesn't eat enough. And she has some long flowing hair, and they both smile and say, so this must be Lily. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Lily is looking at Mr. Stein in particular and just silently thinking in her head, wow, he looks a bit like Kane.
The two
Remember
Unhinged
this.
smile.
the two kneel down, and both of them reach into their pockets. Stein pulls out, one of those finger toys, and Lulu pulls out a piece of candy. And they said, we didn't know what sort of treats you'd like, so we both got you a little bit of everything.
Like cautiously walks up, takes the candy and the finger toy. She doesn't eat the candy immediately though, because she thinks it's poisoned. But she does like attempt to figure out how to work the finger toy, sticks both of her fingers in and gets them both trapped and can't pull them out. And she just immediately panics.
Hey, 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 it's all right. And he quickly reaches over and pushes down on the thing. All right, so you got to push in, then you press down, and there you go. See, now your fingers are out.
Really looks at her intact fingers, just stunned.
He offers the toy again.
She takes the toy a little bit less hesitantly and does it again. This time she's able to get her fingers back out.
Yeah, see, there you go. Aren't you a smart girl?
What kind of weird magic is this?
It's a special kind of magic. It's the magic of breaks. He leans over and whispers,
I'm not allowed to do those. Mom said last time I tried that it ended up breaking stuff and Dad got real mad.
Well, and he sort of pauses and leans back, and then he rubs his nose and then says, "You're not allowed yet." And he gives you a wink.
Lily just tilts her head at the wink. No, I'm pretty sure it was a hard no.
Well, a hard no can always become a hard yes.
I don't think you know how words work.
Trust me, dear, I'm a doctor.
Lily just looks at her white coat.
And so, yeah, they move to stand up and they look to you and then they say, "It's a pleasure to meet you all. As mentioned, I'm Mr. Stein and this is my wife, Lulu. We used to be field operatives like you until we got into a bad accident and we can no longer conceive. So when we heard there was another child on board, we requested that we could perhaps meet them and potentially adopt them."
I see. Well, Lily, what do you think?
Lily has picked up the finger trap again and has stuck her fingers into it. And when Brad says that, she just slowly turns over with both of her fingers trapped and goes, "What?"
What do you
Louisa just
think?
kind of smiles a little bit amused, and she walks over to Lily and she just pats her. She goes, "What do you think of these two? Do you feel comfortable with them?"
Lily slowly looks over at Mr. Stein and Miss Lulu, and she just kind of thinks about it for a second. She doesn't necessarily feel more comfortable with them than she does with her current group, but she doesn't feel, like, repulsed by them either. She still hasn't tried the candy because she still thinks the candy might be poison. Uh, but some of the things that they've said have kind of interested her. Her guard is a little bit down now. I mean, I guess they're not bad. But if I go with them, then how am I supposed to keep you guys healthy?
We'll manage.
We'll
I
work.
mean, that's better coming out of you than coming out of, like, Owen, who's gotten shot in the leg several times.
Folks speaks up and then. Sorry, I interrupted you. Continue.
All I said was true.
Neko, did you want to say something?
Ken is just simply watching on. This isn't his opinion. Kind of like isn't very valid right now.
Okay.
He is reflecting a little bit on it, as if he's looking into an old mirror, which gives him a little bit of a solemn look.
So, Folks looks away and says, "Well, of course we'd requisition them another medic. We can't have the team going on without someone to heal their wounds."
Lily seems a little more hesitant. But what if something happens and the new medic sucks?
Well, you're not getting replaced, Lily, if that's what you're worried about.
I'm not worried about me getting replaced. I'm worried about you guys dying.
Again, we'll manage.
Lulu speaks up and then says, "Hey, Lily,
Lily turns her head.
you know how our names are very similar? I'm Lulu, you're Lily.
Yeah?
Together we're Lily Lou."
Lulu?
Yeah, that could be like our thing. Would you like to see the? Well, we've set up a little room in our orders, and we think you'll like it. Would you like to see it?
Lily looks back at her group and then looks over at Miss Lulu. And she kind of hesitantly nods her head.
All right. The two look to everyone and they say, "You guys are, of course, welcome to come."
Just in case.
They nod, and then they turn back briefly and they call out to the assistant and then say, "You can handle that, right?" And the assistant is like, "Wait, what?" And they're like, "Yeah, you got this. You got this. Just remember your training. And if you have any issues, you." And they point to another random person who looks over and goes, "Yeah, help them if they ran into any problems." And they go,
Help them.
"Okay." And then they give a reluctant thumbs up. So, you guys are led down the quarters and they pull up a brief map, like, just to double check. They look to the map and then they go, I can never remember if it's deck C or deck B. And Stein goes, "It's B, dear." "Ah, right, so we take this elevator." And you guys are brought down an elevator to they're a lot smaller than your quarters. Like, they're not as, like, they don't have a dining room area. It's just a simple room with like a little study area and like one large bed. And then there's another door which leads to a toilet, and then the final door which has a pink girl sticker on it. And they open the door and reveal, "Kira, would you like to describe your dream room as a Lily's dream room?"
Oh gosh, no. Oh gosh.
I don't know what sort of kid she is. She might not like pink and girly things.
She likes birds.
Alright.
Like one thing.
Bird.
It's just
So-
she likes birds.
You open the plate, they open the door and you see there's a large bed that's, well, not a large bed, a kid's bed. And then there's a fake window that seems to be looking out onto a screen that's reflecting like some very strange and unique birds that you've never seen flying about and, in a forest. Like, it's one of those fake windows or fake fires.
Yes.
It's basically one of those. There's a little kid's desk with some paper and some coloring pencils, and it's a really lovely kid's room.
Lily is immediately attracted by the fake window. She like runs, jumps onto the bed, and then just like looks out it. She taps it to see if it's real, like frowns a little because it's not real, but she's more interested in the fact that she doesn't actually know any of the birds on the other side, even if they're fake. That one is red. They come in red.
Yeah, and if you watch, Lily walks over and sits on the bed and points, and if you watch closely, we might get to see it catch on fire.
Can go on fire?
She taps her a finger to her lips and then points, and sure enough, there's a brief flash of red as the bird catches on fire and dives down to grab a mouse or something and cook it while they catch it.
Oh, the birds back home never did that.
Stein looks to you guys while Lily and Lulu bond and gives a warm smile. "I want to thank you all for deciding to come and, allowing us this chance."
Just
Yep.
please take good care of her.
You guys are welcome to come by anytime. You know where we live now, and like, we are going to be, and we'll come visit regularly, and they basically explain that you're not going to be cut out of Lily's life.
Right. Of course. I'll be sure to visit when I can.
So Lulu reluctantly moves moves Lily away from the window and says, "So, do you want to stay with your friends tonight, or would you like to stay in this room tonight?"
Lily like looks at the group and then looks back at the cool room with everything she's ever wanted in it. She hesitates. She has to think about this quite a bit actually, because it's not entirely different from her old home like room back home and how things were set up. Her parents were very fond of throwing things at her instead of spending much time with her. But this is rather interesting because she's managed to nab parents who will both spend time with her and give her stuff, which is every kid's dream. But at the same time, she is very attached to the group, especially after Louisa stood up for her and Brad helped her. And so she's kind of like stuck between her two wants. And eventually, she does run up to Louisa and run up to Brad, and she hugs both of them. And she hugs Louisa especially tightly, but then she sort of takes a step back and kind of sits in the room for a second, goes, "I think just for tonight, just to see if I like it, I might wanna stay here."
All right.
Louisa kind of tilts her head a bit with a soft spot. She goes, "You know you don't need our permission, right? This is your decision."
But I'm gonna miss you guys.
We ain't going far.
Louisa nods in agreement. She goes, "We may not be together all the time like we were, but we won't be that far away.
Hmm.
We just want to make
Yes.
sure that you're safe and comfortable, dear."
You guys promise that you'll come back, right?
Of course.
Louisa
Even with
kind of,
all this oh, yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Even with all the scary death stuff that Owen likes to talk about a lot.
Even with all the scary stuff, yes.
Besides, I personally want to make sure that you are in control of your powers, dear. If anything, that links us together on the fact that you now have psyker abilities. So who better to keep an eye on you than a trained psyker like myself, right?
Lily smiles a bit at that and feels a little bit more comforted. She gives a small nod. But then her eyes suddenly widen and she looks over at her potential new parents. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I have weird powers. Are you guys okay with that?"
Stein and Lulu actually look a bit surprised, and they share a glance and go, "Well, she's an unsanctioned psycho. Was this new development, or were you hiding things from us again, folks?" And folks look, "Nope, new development." And they go, "Ah, okay." And then they both kneel down and grab one hand of Lily's each, and then they go, "That's so cool."
Lily smiles a bit at their enthusiasm.
And
Yeah, I can do all sorts of cool stuff. I made voices the other day, or like big booms.
Stein Stein gives a devilish grin and goes, "Oh, we're gonna have to use that for some pranking." And folks,
Allowable franking?
pardon?
Allowable franking?
Of course, of course. And folks goes, "Just don't do it in the operating room, please."
Tried to do it in the
Promises.
operating room before.
And you see Stein whisper to you, and he goes, "I make no promises."
Lily
But
just
imagine
smiles
all
a
the
bit.
people with PTSD. Oh god.
On our safe.
But yes, they let you go, and you have your hugs and everything. And as the party is leaving, you all get to hear Lulu and Stein say, Now, who wants to make a celebratory cake?
I want a cake.
Well, we're gonna make it together.
Lily's instantly enthralled. It only took sugar.
And that's the last thing you guys hear as you head back to the room. With, folks following behind you guys. Well, beside you guys.
Once Brad is finally out of their quarters, he just leans up against a wall and exhales. Ugh.
You gonna be good there, Brad?
Ugh.
Louisa kind of like strides a little bit past him as she stops in front and glances at him. She goes, "Perhaps next time voice your concerns with the whole party."
Sorry.
Louisa just kind of sighs. She goes, "I do not blame you, but your actions were that of concern for dear Lily. Although I had wished that maybe you had said something beforehand. I had some concerns that this was merely Fox's idea, and I wanted to make sure that Lily was not in danger."
I will be sure to voice my concerns sooner. I just wanted to make sure Lily didn't have to experience more of what she just witnessed.
On
She
that,
deserves a better life.
that I can agree with. And it seems she is on the road to going to a better situation. But as I said, just if I had known that you were the one that suggested the idea to Fox first, then I would have been more open to it. So perhaps in the future, just a nice heads up would be nice.
All right. I'll work on it.
So, Fox looks to you all as you guys make it to your dormitory area. And he says, "Well, this is the part where I say goodbye to you all.
Huh?
I'm heading to the incinerator to die."
What?
"Oh, it's fine, don't worry, another Fox will come soon to replace me."
Why are you headed to an
Is this-
incinerator then?
"Oh, I ate an unspeakable evil so it wouldn't get out into the world. So now I gotta be incinerated so that the unspeakable evil doesn't get out into the world."
So
Brad is speechless.
that shadow really did came out then, didn't it?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
That goop really didn't escape, did it? You found it.
I
Is that
quarantined
what you're
it
implying?
in my body.
Yeah, Louisa doesn't look all that surprised as she just stares silently at Fox.
But yeah, I gotta go get incinerated before it takes over me and slowly corrupts me and consumes every other Fox. Basic unspeakable horror stuff.
Pleasure working with you.
It's been a pleasure, yes.
Brad is still speechless.
And so with that, you all say goodbye to Interrogator Fox number 27. Kira,
Wait.
would you like to play Interrogator Fox number 754?
Oh my
dear
god.
God.
Dear God.
Oh dear God. I don't know if I can do this man justice.
I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Okay.
So, yes, as you guys are standing there, before you even really have time to mourn, absorb. To absorb the change. There is already a brand new Forks.
I like the eyebrows.
Take it away, Kira.
Oh god.
Oh boy. Oh, his eyebrows did not match the personality I had and set in mind for him.
Oh, I can pick a different one if you like. What emotion would you like them to express?
Oh boy.
Make him a happy bean.
Oh, you don't want the sad folks? Okay.
Oh my gosh, depressed fox.
You want it?
No.
You sure? Alright, just happy folks it is.
Depressed fox.
They don't know. But we know.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Alright. So yeah, before 5 minutes have even passed, you guys are greeted by Folks number 754.
Oh, hi, hello, you people.
Oh boy.
Oh
King
no.
closes
yes,
the door.
What are your names?
Brad.
Brad, that's a good name. I like that name. You're a good person. I like you, Brad. Okay, next, go.
Louisa sighs, closing her eyes. Louisa.
Louisa, that's a good name, strong name. Yes. Okay, you are a nice lady, nice and big. Okay, next, go.
King closes the door in response.
All right, door slam. Great, awesome name. Little unconventional, but we can work with it. Okay, door slam.
That was Kane.
Oh, he has an interesting way of speaking to people. You know what? We appreciate it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. All right. Hi. Okay. Anyone else? Is that good? Are we good?
We also have somebody else named Owen. He's busy today.
Oh, a hard worker. We like those types. Awesome. Okay. We have an Owen, a Louisa, a Kane, and a Brad. The Kane speaks indoors. This is a good group.
This is gonna take some time to get used to.
Yes. Well, I am Fox. The foxiest of foxes. Yes. Maybe. Yes. And yes.
Which number?
Counting. Counting is a thing that I am expected to do. We'll get back to you on that.
Environmental is amazing.
Down.
I want to go where he's at now.
But yes, I know we will all be amazing friends and we'll do great together, and we totally won't horrendously die in a fire. But if we do horrendously die in a fire, I will eat all of your bones.
I don't have a lot of bones.
Too much information, but okay.
I don't have a lot of bones in my body anymore, so good luck eating.
Don't trust me, buddy. You have enough bones. Trust me, buddy.
Mine are very brittle, dear.
Well, that just makes it easier for me. That's a plus.
Mm,
You have a lot of armor. You might be more difficult. But I like a challenge.
Please don't.
Yes, don't worry. It probably won't get to that, probably. I mean, it's gotten to that quite a few times already. You don't need to worry about that, though. Don't worry. I always like to play with my food a bit.
Brad already hates her.
So, what you guys want to do next? You guys want to go see Unspeakable Horrors? I like seeing Unspeakable Horrors.
Already had a brush with unspeakable horrors.
Oh, which ones?
Evil, dark, black entities.
Oh, I hear those are tasty.
Well, one of your kind ate them and went straight to the incinerator afterwards.
Yes, that's how I know that they're tasty. I find. Tap tap. But I have been told not to do that, so I will not do that. Unless I see one, and then I might.
I miss the old fox more and more the more this one talks. I'm gonna go do some
Aw.
research.
Aw, you don't like me.
I like the other one more. It doesn't mean I don't like you. But we'll
Well,
cross that line when we get there.
well, Kira, as folks, you know that they can always request a different folks.
Mm, I mean, I guess if you guys don't like me, you could always ask for another one.
No, I'm afraid this one, the next one will be worse. They only gotten worse so far.
I mean, I think we're all a great bunch. Yep, we're all great, except for the other one. What was that one? Number. I don't know.
66, 666.
No, that's actually pretty fine. He's kind of a soft guy. He doesn't say much. He's very business professional.
Oh god.
Yeah, no, he's just kind of a normal dude. I mean, we don't like him very much because he doesn't actually do much for us. Like, the others are great. I like them, but no, everyone's fine. Everyone's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't have preferences.
Right.
I'm gonna go read the library if there's one here.
But yes, we're good. You're not going to throw me away and requisition another one so that I can't eat your bones.
Not yet.
Great.
Can I punch it in the future?
I mean, you could. I'm not gonna say no if you do.
Mm,
I have a very punchable face. Do you want to punch it? Do you want to punch it? Do you want to punch it?
feel like that's a trap.
No, it's not a trap. Go ahead, do it. I dare you.
Mm,
I'm rolling inside on the punchable fox at this point. Is it a trap?
Alright, well, I'm going to change this image because I feel this image fits better. But, yeah. What does the inside say, Kira?
So if it was any other fox, punching him would be probably not the best idea and could get you in a lot of trouble. This one doesn't seem to be lying though. Well, this one will just let you punch him.
Alright,
Oh,
Katie
God.
blinks out and punches the fuck out of him.
His body goes ragdoll flying across the room.
And then it goes to it just tumbles off of things.
Wow. That was the third hardest punch I've done. Impressive.
You're a strong man. I think you'll do good. Unfortunately, that means I won't get to eat you soon. But you know, that's fine. But the more we do, the better we do for whoever we serve. Gosh darn it, I don't remember.
The intercom suddenly interrupts you guys. Could interrogator folks number 754 please make their way to the Inquisitor? I repeat, interrogator folks number 754, make your way to the Inquisitor.
Fox just stares blankly for a second, brings out the paws, definitely does not have enough to count that high, and just goes, you know, I think that one might be me. I'm gonna
Better.
go.
Better safe than sorry.
Bunch of steam shoots up Kane's arm afterwards. That was the third hardest punch I've done.
He goes
And then-
tapping off. He's a little unsteady on his paws because he just got punched to heck and back, but he goes off.
And while he's walking off, you guys hear another intercom. Could we get a delivery of one last pistol to the interrogator's office? I repeat, one last pistol to the Inquisitor's office. Thank you.
Happy little hums echo across the hallway ominously.
And yeah, that's next thing you know, there's a different fox.
What?
And they come over and they go, and they look to you all and go, Hold on just a second. Let me get the files uploaded and everything. The rig reveal. Thank you, Kira, for playing Forks. Did you have fun?
Short but sweet.
Oh god. She's
Just like that
already
Fox's
getting
life.
replaced.
Oh yeah, the next Forks walks in and goes, I'm Forks number 666. I'm gonna just take a nap here. Good night. And they just curl up and fall asleep.
How did I request the right fox of all the foxes?
Eh, let's not question it. I've stopped questioning it a long time ago.
The Forks just sleeps.
We should leave him be.
Alright, I'm gonna go to the research area. You guys take care.
Alright.
So, you guys all spend your evenings taking care of things that you wish to take care of. You guys have some downtime, basically, is what I'm saying. Feel free to put in Murphy Private what you spend it on, or we can discuss it after the session. But you guys have some downtime, and the morning comes, and with it, Lily. You spent the night that you made a cake together. You know, they cooked you a lovely home cooked meal. They tucked you in, they read you a bedtime story, and you wake up in the morning. The smell of breakfast is already wafting in from your table. They set it out for you and let you sleep in.
Lily wakes up and is incredibly conflicted because she is having a lot more fun than she has had basically since her parents have died. And she just sits up and she smells the breakfast, she turns her head, and she just starts crying. She remembers her family back home and everything that she's lost, and it's just so incredibly close to what she wanted, maybe even more than what she ever wanted or ever had. And it's just incredibly overwhelming for a second. But she gets up after a while, kind of wipes off her tears, goes over to the food, and starts eating it. It tastes salty.
Yeah, the eggs are a little rubbery, but you know, they're eggs.
Better than the rations.
You hear a knock on the door. It's Lulu, and she goes, I thought I heard movement. Are you up, dear?
Lily, like, wipes her eyes with her sleeve one last time, makes sure to get all the tears out, and then turns around and goes, I'm awake!
The door opens, and she steps inside and gives a warm smile and says, Are you doing alright this morning?
Lily kind of meekly nods a bit. The eggs were really good.
Well, she offers a hand. Stein has already gone to work, and I figured I would take you to see your friends. Would you like that?
Lily hesitates a little and then nods and grabs onto the hand and just squeezes it a little tighter, as if trying to confirm that it's actually there.
She squeezes you back. So, the morning comes. You guys are waking up and eating your breakfast. It's, it's okay. Legs are a little rubbery. The folks number 666 hasn't moved an inch. They're still sleeping where they laid down.
A little concerning.
You're not entirely sure if they're even alive, to be honest, but regardless, you guys are eating, and there's a knock on the door, and Lulu and Lily step inside.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey,
Who's that?
It's been really good. I got and like Lily kind of squeezes Lulu's hand one more time and then like gently and very carefully lets go so that she can walk over to her friends. And she walks up to Kane. She's like, I got to eat cake. I got to make the cake. It
Oh,
wasn't
that's
as cool
great.
as this. Oh,
Good.
it wasn't quite as cool as the soda bombs, but it tasted a lot better.
I'm sure they'll be able to show you a bunch of other things besides soda bombs here, Lily.
And they showed me the birds and they showed me a lot of nice. They just and Lily like tears up again and just wipes her eyes a bit. Just kind of lowers her head and she just mumbles a soft "I'm sorry."
Mm.
Kane rests
Lisa-
her hand on top of Lily's head. Hey, don't be sorry about that. I've been through something very similar as you have. You need someone in your life.
Lily like gives a faint little nod and she's like, "But I promised I was gonna be there to heal you guys and keep you safe, and now I don't know if I can do that anymore."
Lisa kind of tilts her head a bit as she goes over and like kneels down in front of Lily and she goes, You're happy though, right? This is good.
Lily nods almost immediately. She has had a very good time.
She gives a tiny smile. She goes, That's all that matters then. You leave the fighting and such to the adults. When you become better at handling situations like these, you can join us again. But for now, Lily, you are still young. You need to enjoy the life while you can.
Lily gives Louisa a hug. It just stays like that for a second.
Louisa can't help but give a tiny little laugh, like a chuckle, as she just hugs Lily back. She goes, We're not going anywhere, dear. As I said before, I have longed for death in the past, but as long as someone needs me, then I will remain. So even if technically you have someone else to watch over you, if you still need me for things, I will still be here, along with the rest of us.
It gives a small nod and she just like looks up at Louisa and smiles softly and says, I still need you for the powers, right? You can't go anywhere until I learn all of them, and I might never learn all of them. So you just can't go anywhere.
She, she chuckles again and she goes, I will do it. I will do my best, dear. I am quite old, you know.
You're not that old. You're like a nice grandma.
Old enough to be one, that's for sure. And then
Like
she
grandmas
she chuckles again and she looks at the other and she goes, We'll all do our best to remain and see you grow. For
Really
now, focus
smiles at
on what
them.
makes you happy. Because that makes us happy too.
Yeah, Lily definitely smiles at that, and she lightly lets go of Louisa, and then runs back to Lulu. And she just like smiles and like grabs Lulu's hand and tries to like bring her over to show her friends. She's like, Lulu, Lulu, these are my friends, and they're all really, really nice. And I want to introduce you to all of them.
Of course, dear, of course.
Okay, okay. And she like runs over to Brad. She's like, this is Brad. And Brad is really good at making people feel better when other people are hurting them. And Brad doesn't talk a lot, but when Brad does talk, all the words are really good.
Hi.
Hey there.
Mm.
And Lily like leaves Brad for a second, runs over to Kane, and she's like, this is Kane. Kane knows how to make cool stuff. Kane showed me how to make soda explode. Also, his arm is metal.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. I want a metal arm.
Well, maybe not now, but maybe one day I'll have a metal arm.
We can make you a fake one.
She runs over to Louisa. She's like, "This is Louisa. She's like my grandma. She's the bestest."
I would imagine so. It takes a very special person to be able to become a psycho.
Yeah, she can do the coolest things with her mind. It's amazing.
Lily knows.
Louisa just kind of gives a small nod and acknowledgement, but being very stoic, but does give a brief smile down at Lily at her enthusiasm.
Those are all of my friends. Oh, and then there's Owen too. Owen's kind of a meanie, and he yelled at me. Feel good. He's not here now.
Lily chuckles a bit, but then she goes, Lily, you shouldn't talk about people behind their back like that.
Like, he was mean.
Even if he was mean, that doesn't mean you need to be a meanie bird meanie back.
Yes, it does.
If it does.
Well, alright, Miss Morals.
I don't need morals. I have syringes and scalpels. Those are my morals.
Speaking of... You did. I'm sure you did. But speaking of needles and injections, would you like to come with us to work today? You are a trained doctor. Would you like to earn some pocket money?
Lily smiles and nods and then grabs onto Lulu's hand again.
We'll get you some candy as a reward. You can buy it with your own money.
Yeah! This time Fox won't steal it all. I mean, that was kind of his candy, but still.
Of
Oh,
course.
yeah, we got a replacement fox, by the way.
Lily
He's
just
still in the
stops for a
corner.
second.
He's like, wait, what?
I suppose I should tell you. The fox that we had before, in... how do I explain this? Apparently he ate something, and in order to not infect the others, he was sent to the incinerator.
Incinerate? Wait, that's a... He died?
Yes.
I don't want him to die!
But then we got a replacement.
You can't just replace him.
Apparently, the thing you saw him eat there ended up being the dark entity he was referring to.
I mean, yeah, it was dark and goopy. Of course it was. They didn't have to kill him.
Would you rather have that dark goopy thing infect all the foxes in the area and then us?
I mean, it didn't seem that bad. It was just dark, goopy, and mysterious, and kind of evil.
It was definitely evil.
Remember what I said about not to judge a book by its cover, dear?
Yeah?
Well, sometimes those books are very dangerous and must be destroyed.
Well, couldn't we, like, magic it to fix him or something? Like, you didn't have to go get burned.
I don't
One
think
thing you will learn soon about magic, dear, is that it cannot solve everything. It is both a blessing, but can also have its limits.
And yeah, the curled up ball of fur that's just again still in the same place it curled up in yesterday. Briefly lifts the head and goes, I'm Forks number 666. Pleasure to meet you. And then it goes back to sleep.
What do you just do anything?
Kane
Can we stop him from getting burnt?
hands him one of its eggs.
Hands who?
hands the fox one of his eggs.
The egg slowly sinks into their fur with a sound.
That's kind of cool.
Kind of cool.
It remains asleep.
Go.
666 gives no shits.
Hey,
Off.
we have a garbage can now, guys. I discovered that recently.
Please don't feed fox number 666 garbage.
All right, well, I'll do the one time for testing's sake. Kane drops the plate onto Fox, like as like rested on him.
It rests on Fox.
Okay, so it's only food. Good to know.
I think the purpose of having all of these fox clones is that they are disposable.
That is a benefit. All right then.
That's not okay.
They mentioned a hive mind. I'm sure that they get recloned back to what they were before.
He just stares. What?
As in they get kind of like a rebirth, recycled sort of deal, I'm sure. That's my hypothesis so far.
He just stares and then points at the clearly not fox in the corner.
I'm sure they have several personalities. And that one is just the most inactive one I've ever seen so far.
So
right?
no, I don't like this. I don't like this. I'm gonna go see if I can find him and stop him from getting burnt. I don't like this.
Box
think
number
it's more like-
666.
Sorry, go on.
Yes.
Am I correct in my judgment of this?
I wasn't listening. What did you say?
I basically said that the foxes mentioned they were a hive mind of sorts, so they all get a recycled kind of lifestyle as in rebirth.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just a physical body. We can always make a new one.
So there's another fox exactly the same as the one that was just incinerated before.
Yeah, same memories too.
And there you go.
Well, think of it like this. It's like the phoenix rising from the ashes.
Like the phoenix is the same. Like you don't get rid of a phoenix and then there's another. But
Lily just stops for a sec. She's trying to work this out in her head.
I'm sure he'll be back eventually.
I didn't even get to say sorry. I thought he was evil. He got burnt for us.
Lily, dear, I think you might be slightly overthinking this a little bit.
I think you guys are all underthinking it. None of you guys know what medicine is.
Kane raises an arm.
Lulu speaks up and then says, "Well, I'm not entirely sure I understand everything that's going on, but if you want to go to see if we can speak to them at the incinerator, they might not have incinerated him yet. We can go check, Lily."
Lily nods and immediately runs to Lulu. She starts like pulling on her, trying to get her out of the room so that they can.
All right, we're going. Okay, see, it was nice meeting you. Oh, okay, not there.
Brad just waves.
And go on.
Good to see she's doing moderately well.
I'd say much better.
Mm.
A lot better than what she would be with us. That's
So, we've still got a little bit of time. You guys are currently on what's called leave. Basically, it's a bit of downtime you get before you're given your next assignment.
Okay.
Lily, you're included in this as well. You guys can spend your leave doing whatever you want. So I'm just going to go down the list. Okay?
Okay.
Lily, I'm assuming you try to meet up with folks, and you do meet up with them. They're attached to a metal stretcher that's about to go into the incinerator, and folks basically says, "Well, hey there, fancy meeting you here."
Lily immediately tries to undo the metal shackles. She's a child.
Lulu and the others quickly pull her back and say, no, you best not do that.
Why? You're gonna burn him!
Would you like to hear the good word about chaos?
Oh
Yes.
no.
Yeah, it's this great, wonderful god that makes things better. And they grant wishes, and they're all good and golden, and they put duct tape over Fawkes' mouth.
No, why would you do that? He was just talking.
He is sprouting heretical words, I'm afraid.
Lily gets increasingly agitated with this. And I'm just gonna read something real quick. Yeah, this seems fine. She gets very, very upset with all this. She does not want to see her little foxy friend get killed in front of her. She has not fully understood the whole reincarnation or rebirth thing. So to her, it does, especially since she's got like a medical training, and so all she knows is don't let things die or they die. So she's not very pleased with all this. She's really not. And so I'm just gonna hit this little button right here. You gotta make the
Oh,
ground shake.
Okay. Well, let me roll the 1d100. And let's see, because yeah, I've got to find the list.
Ah, yes.
Oh no.
Ah, yes.
Really, why? Owen is gonna be so pissed.
All right. So let's see. 97. Oh. So, as the spell fires off, everyone in the room suddenly pales as they realize that you're an unsanctioned psyker and you've just done something warpy. The entire room twists and turns, and the incinerator, when everything settles, is off. Like, it was blaring flames and it was very hot in the room, and now suddenly it's just room temperature.
Lily has taken the time while this has happened to just walk in front of Fox and just like kind of climb onto the belt and hold her hands out. You're not taking him.
They all share a glance and then they go, okay, no need to do any more warpy shit. We don't want to go into the warp right now.
Lily watches them all and then slowly moves to take off the gag that is on the fox.
Lulu, just for reference, because Lulu is not included with the group, Lulu is just kind of watching this and is like not sure what to do, and she eventually rushes over to the intercom and goes, excuse me, would Madame Louisa please come to the incinerator? We're dealing with an unsanctioned psych tantrum.
Oh god damn it.
Louisa kind of blanks and then she frowns. She goes, "It's not even been a day," and she just abruptly stands up and power walks over to the where the incinerator is.
So while you're making that trip, oh, it's the first day. She hasn't even received your psyker and you a handbook. She hasn't gotten the children's psycho handbook yet. She doesn't know how to deal with a Lily tantrum. They've known each other a day. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
But yes, they all the other Lily's done the right thing. They've gone and gotten someone who is an expert in they've gone to an expert so that they don't mess with things up. The rest are all like, no, that completely fine. We're not going to mess with you. You're fine. You're fine.
I know, really. Like Louise is just like not having anything. She's like, move.
No, you're not there yet. Lily has a little bit. It's gonna take you a little bit to get there. So Lily.
I'm saying as she's running over there, she's brushing past everybody and not even like bothering to say
Okay. Okay. So Lily.
Brad is following her
Okay.
as
So
quickly as possible.
okay. So Lily. Once again, all the people who were preparing to throw them into the incinerator have stopped. The incinerator is off, and you can see Lulu off to one side, like she's not a part of the group that was trying to stop you. She's just over by a strange box.
Lily is less concerned with the box and more concerned with attempting to free the fox.
So you pull the tape off, and Fox smiles up at you and goes, "Well, thank you. I'm glad you're willing to hear me out. So, are you ready to hear about the words of chaos?"
Lily just kind of like tears up a little bit. She's like, I'll do whatever you want. I just feel bad for letting you go. I'm gonna burn you.
Oh yes, but fire won't kill me.
Yeah, it will.
And Lewis speaks up and goes, you remember the Firebird, right?"
Yeah, but that's just the story.
"No, that's a real creature."
You guys are trying to get rid of him.
And that's the point that Louisia enters the room.
And Brad.
And Brad.
Lily, what the heck?
Louisa looks around, feeling temper. She goes, first sucker temper tantrum. All right then.
They were gonna burn him to death.
He's not gonna die.
Things die when they're burned. I don't care if he gets revived. It's not gonna be him.
Hey, did you know that chaos can solve all your problems?
Brad covers his mouth. If Owen heard that, he would absolutely destroy you.
Louisa sighs as she walks over to Lily and kneels in front of her. She goes, Lily, I know you're very upset right now, but I need you to pay attention to hear my words, okay?
Mm.
Now, you remember how Fox used to act and talk when we first met them, yes?
Yeah,
And
like
you
Fox.
were right. So, put aside the fact that they were going to burn him and look at Fox now.
Lily slowly looks over at Fox.
And then Louisa looks to Brad and she just motions for him to remove his hand real quick to let Fox talk.
Mm.
And then Louisa says,
For a moment.
listen and watch him very closely. Does he still seem like the same Fox we first met?
I'm just thinking of what to say. You guys have been using my best. You guys have been using my best chaos material.
Oh god.
All your dreams can be accomplished with the powers of chaos.
He covers it again.
I mean, he sounds a little different, but he always sounded kind of unhinged.
Even more unhinged than before.
Yes, but did he ever spout about chaos and how that is something that should be considered?
Oh, but maybe we could fix him. Just, I don't know, undo the black gobbledygook.
This is the only way to fix it.
Unfortunately, Brad is correct. Dear, we failed in killing that entity. I had tried to try to find it after it had disappeared down the cliff. Unfortunately, I did not find it in time. Fox found a solution, and unfortunately, this is it.
But it's not a good solution. What if there's some sort of like medicine we could use? It's like poison, right? I could cure poison.
Lisa kind of frowns as she goes, "This is not something that could be fixed medically, dear."
But
It
but how do
is.
you guys know? You haven't tried.
Louisa just kind of sighs sadly and she gives a smile and she goes, "How many foxes have we met so far, dear?"
I mean, there are a couple running around all the time, but we've only really met two.
Yes, which means that this fox here can be remade back to who they were before, but they will be remade with the knowledge of this incident, so it does not happen again.
He's not gonna be him. Last thing that he'll remember is me being mean to him.
Oh, are you sorry for the way you treated him before?
Kinda. I mean, he was trying to protect us. I thought he was trying to eat us.
Well, you made a, well, I'll say we made a misjudgment. So, one thing you need to learn, dear, is that death is a common thing, even with us soldiers. We saw it plenty when we battled those orcs, yes?
Yeah?
Well, it's basically what Fox is going through. It means that it is their time.
But I don't like it when it's their time. I became a doctor so people don't have to go to their time. I can fix this. I have to think up the right herbs.
Here, I told you, this is not fixed with medicine. And she puts a hand to her chest. Is this something that is affecting them spiritually?
Then we'll take him to Owen and Owen will do the weird magic yelly thing and fix that.
The door opens, and another folk steps in. Why are you guys talking to a corpse?
Lily just like it's so unexpected that Lily just stares.
Louisa kind of just sighs and she goes, "Well, perhaps being blunt is the best way to do things, although it's a little indelicate." She kind of gets a bit of a frown at the new fox.
Hi, I'm Fox 64. You remember me, right? I got you your parents. Well, your potential parents. You know what I mean.
Like stares at the fox that she's like nearby, then stares at the other fox. She's like, what do you mean? You're not the same one. There can't be two of you.
Oh, that's because that's not me anymore. I left.
You can't leave. That's not how bodies work.
It's how our bodies work.
Foxes are weird.
But that's not how it works.
It was whispering sweet nothings to me. I had to leave it. Otherwise, I might be corrupted by its corrupting influences and become a corrupt fox. And I'm already quite corrupt as it is.
You're the same fox then. Are you?
I'm Fox number 64, yes.
Lily
body
gets,
swap.
Lily gets up, leaves the like dead, evil, and corrupted fox, runs over to that one, and just hugs him and refuses to let him go.
Ooh. Wow, I did not expect a hug. Enjoy, embrace my fur. I am fluffy.
Lily cries into his fur.
The crew at the incinerator take this moment to quickly shove the other forks into the incinerator while Lily's distracted.
Oh, thank God. Don't have to hear him spouting about something weird anymore.
Yeah, the thing in there is mega evil. I had to get out of there.
Oh, it's still you, right? It's still you, right?
I am me, yes, I am Forks number 64.
Lee just continues to cry, hugs him even tighter, and just goes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the bad things I thought, the bad things I said. I thought you were doing bad stuff, but you were trying to keep us safe.
Nah. You're fine.
It wasn't fine. It was bad.
Hey, bad is just good if you turn the dial a different way.
I'm not sure that's how it works.
We're in space. Everything works.
Uh,
But yeah, I got good news then, if you want to make up for it. You want to make up for it, right?
Lily nods again.
Okay. So, you know how you got your new family and you're going to be working?
Mm-hmm.
I am also being reassigned to the medical wing. Yay!
Lily actually gets like happy at that. She smiles a bit, and then she just hugs him closer. She's like, so we're gonna be together?
Yeah, they want to make sure I don't have any lingering culty, dark, oozy stuff in me. Because if I do, then I'm gonna have to be, how to put it kindly? I'm gonna have to be put through a re-indoctrination to make sure I'm properly following the might of the Emperor and all that.
I don't know what that means, but we'll make sure it doesn't happen. I'm gonna
Yeah!
eat all the candy and you'll be good.
That's actually what I wanted to ask you. Since you're working, maybe you could donate a bit of candy towards my collection.
I'll give you at least half.
Fox actually begins to nuzzle you. Aw, you're such a good friend.
Lily just laughs at that. She is happy.
Yes, all the candy will be mine.
Lulu has all the good candy too.
Let us go and claim the kitchen for our own candy.
I'll show you how to make a cake. I learned yesterday.
Lulu looks to you guys and says, thanks for coming. I just wasn't sure what to do about it when she started making warp stuff. And you know how it is, you have to be really careful around unsanctioned psychers in case they open like a black hole.
right.
They could. She just kind of
Mm.
watches Lily for a second and she just sighs as she goes, probably should get started on the basics. She is definitely a lot more stronger than I anticipated and is quite emotional, which is usually not very good in the
Could've
beginning
been worse.
portions.
Right, well, I suppose we can schedule that in for today, and I'll leave Lily with you and come pick her up in the afternoon. Does that sound good?
Probably for the best. I would keep an eye on her for a bit to make sure there's no more bursts. And then see if I can at least try to get her to. I was taught to control my emotions. Perhaps this will have to be different with her.
All right. And Lulu comes over and kneels beside Lily and says, all right, now, Lily, I'm going to leave you with Louisia for a little bit. She's going to give you some quick training on your powers so we don't potentially suck the entire ship into the warp. Does that sound all right?
Oh, we wouldn't do that. Don't worry. But okay.
Right, so I'll come pick you up in the afternoon.
Okay.
And yeah. Alex had to go, but yeah. Like, while that's all happening, we still have Kane.
It's gonna be a lot less important than whatever just happened there. So he's just at the research station. So just trying to get some knowledge.
I gotcha. You're getting some education.
Yeah.
All right. So, is there anything anyone would like to do before we wrap this session up?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
then with that, let's wrap up. Thank you all for coming. I hope you all had fun.
Yeah.
Yee.
And bye bye.
Goodbye.
Hey.